Why do some people get better every single day, while others stay stuck repeating their mistakes for years? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's their daily systems. Success isn't the result of a breakthrough moment. It's the consequence of small, consistent actions repeated over time, every day. Motivation fades. Systems and discipline do not. If you're waiting to feel ready, you may never move forward. Welcome to StoicCraft, where ancient wisdom meets modern strategies for personal resilience and mastery. In this guide, we'll explore the 10 disciplines you must work on daily to build not just success, but unshakable inner strength. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get better every single day, while others stay stuck repeating the same patterns? It's not about talent, it's not about luck, and it's definitely not about waiting for the right moment. It all comes down to one simple truth: you are what you do. Consistently think about it. If you exercise just once a month, do you become fit? No. If you read one book a year, do you become wise? Probably not. If you work hard only when you feel like it, will you ever reach your full potential? Of course not. But here's the good news: success isn't about making massive leaps overnight. It's about the small daily actions that add up over time. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, puts it perfectly. You do not rise to the Qianzi level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. What does that mean? It means your habits, not your goals, determine where you end up in life. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They focus on random self-improvement hacks, jumping from one thing to another, hoping for a quick fix. But real change doesn't work that way. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. You need to focus on the right things every single day. That's what this video is about today. You'll learn the 10 most important things you must work on every day, no matter what. Because if you commit to these, even just 1% improvement daily, the results will be life-changing. So let's get started. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. Think like a winner. The first thing you need to work on every single day is your mindset, because here's the truth: your thoughts control your actions, and your actions control your life. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One sees it as a problem, an excuse to quit. The other sees it as an opportunity, a chance to grow. Same situation, but completely different outcomes. This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck, who studied this concept, found that people with a growth mindset push through failure, learn from mistakes. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. And keep improving. Meanwhile, those with a fixed mindset avoid challenges, fear failure, and stay stuck. So the question is, which one do you choose? Because every day, life gives you two options: believe that your potential is limited and stay the same, or believe that you can improve and take action. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, and that's the secret work on your mindset daily. When things go wrong, train yourself to see the lesson. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. When you feel doubt, remind yourself that growth comes from discomfort. When fear creeps in, take action anyway, because the strongest people aren't the ones who never fail, they're the ones who never stop learning, and that's why mindset mastery is the foundation of everything. Now, let's talk about something equally powerful. No. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. 2. Be disciplined, not motivated. If mindset is the foundation, then discipline is the engine, because motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll wake up feeling unstoppable. Other days, you won't even want to get out of bed. That's where discipline comes in. Self-discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Think about the most successful people in any field: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems, habits, and self-control. Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL, puts it perfectly: discipline equals freedom. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you have. Financial discipline gives you freedom from stress. Health discipline gives you freedom from illness time. Discipline gives you freedom to focus on what truly matters. But here's the hard truth. Discipline isn't built overnight. It's built through small daily choices. When you wake up and don't hit snooze, you build discipline. When you start a task and don't let distractions pull you away, you build discipline. When you show up for yourself every single day, you build discipline. Build rituals instead of relying on moods. Create fixed morning routines and evening shutdown rituals. Consistency in small tasks like waking up at the same time or reviewing goals at night compounds into unstoppable discipline over months. The good news: discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. So ask yourself, where do I need more discipline in my life? Because if you master this, you won't need motivation. You'll be unstoppable. Now, let's talk about something that fuels both your discipline and your mindset. No. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. 3. Move your body, fuel your mind. You've probably heard it a million times. Health is wealth, but it's so much more than just a catchy saying. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. Without it functioning at its best, all the productivity, success, and happiness you're chasing won't mean much. Think about the most successful people. Chances are they prioritize their health. Why? Because physical health impacts every part of your life. When you're feeling energetic and strong, you can think more clearly. When you're well rested and nourished, you're more creative. When you move your body regularly, you manage stress better and become more resilient. But here's the kicker: you don't need to be perfect. Small daily habits add up. Walking, stretching, getting enough sleep, eating whole foods, drinking water. Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Body, emphasizes the importance of daily movement. If you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. It doesn't take hours at the gym. It takes a commitment to move every day. Even if it's just for 10 to 20 minutes. So be honest with yourself. Are you treating sleep as a luxury instead of a necessity? Are you fueling your body with real nourishing foods or just whatever's convenient? Are you making time for movement each day, or are you waiting until your health forces you to? Because at the end of the day, your physical health isn't just about how you look. It's about how you feel, think, and live. And when you take care of it, everything else becomes easier. Now, let's dive into something that ties all of this together. 4. Eliminate distractions. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. Amplify focus. Distraction is everywhere. Your phone buzzes, emails pile up, social media pulls you in. Before you know it, hours have passed and you've barely made progress on what actually matters. The ability to focus deeply has become a superpower. In his book Deep Work, Cal Newport explains that the people who achieve the most aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who can eliminate distractions and commit to uninterrupted focus. But here's the problem: most people never train their focus. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. They jump from one thing to the next, constantly seeking stimulation. They check their phone every 5 minutes. They multitask, thinking they're being productive when in reality they're just busy, and being busy is not the same as being effective. So how do you fix this? You start by creating space for deep work every day. It could be 1 hour of uninterrupted focus on your most important task. It could be blocking out distractions, turning off notifications, setting a timer, and working with intention. It could be as simple as choosing progress. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. Over constant stimulation. Steve Jobs once said, focus is about saying no to distractions, no to meaningless tasks, no to anything that pulls you away from your real priorities. Because if you can train yourself to focus deeply every single day, you'll accomplish more in a few months than most people do in years. And that brings us to the next daily habit. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes, daily can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. 5. Learn something new every day the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Look at the most successful people in the world. Entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, scientists, they all have one thing in common. They never stop learning. Warren Buffett, one of the richest and most successful investors in history, spends 80% of his day reading and thinking. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science by reading books. Bill Gates reads over 50 books a year. Why? Because knowledge is leverage. The more you learn, the more you can do. The more you can do, the more opportunities open up for you. But here's the mistake most people make. They think learning only happens in school. They graduate, get a job, and then stop investing in their own knowledge. Big mistake. Lifelong learning isn't about memorizing facts. It's about training your mind to stay sharp, adaptable, and open to new ideas. It doesn't have to be complicated. You could read 10 pages of a book every morning, listen to a podcast while driving, watch a documentary instead of mindless entertainment. The key is to learn something new every day, because the world is changing fast. People who keep learning will keep growing, and the ones who don't, they'll get left behind. Now, let's talk about something that's just as important as intelligence. No. 6. Control your emotions before they control you. Intelligence can open doors, but emotional intelligence determines how far you go. The ability to understand and control your emotions, navigate relationships, and handle stress is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone ruin opportunity space? They couldn't control their temper or make a bad decision out of impulse. This is what separates emotionally strong people from the rest. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, who pioneered the study of emotional intelligence, explains that it comes down to 5 key abilities. First is self-awareness, which means recognizing your own emotions and understanding why you feel a certain way. If you can't identify what's happening inside you, you can't control it. Then there's self-regulation, the ability to manage emotional reactions instead of letting them control you. People with high emotional intelligence don't let frustration, anger, or stress dictate their actions. They stay calm and think logically. Another key factor is motivation, not the kind that comes and goes, but the internal drive to push through obstacles and focus on long-term goals. Empathy also plays a massive role. The most emotionally intelligent people don't just understand their own emotions, they understand how others feel. They read between the lines, pick up on unspoken cues, and truly listen. Build rituals instead of relying on moods. Create fixed morning routines and evening shutdown rituals. Consistency in small tasks like waking up at the same time or reviewing goals at night compounds into unstoppable discipline over months. And finally, there's social intelligence, the skill of building strong, meaningful relationships, whether in business or personal life. Those who master this skill tend to lead, influence, and connect effortlessly. The better you control your emotions, the better you control your life, and that brings us to another daily skill that separates successful people from the rest. No. 7. Speak clearly, listen deeply. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how talented you are, or how much you know. If you can't communicate well, you'll always be Limited words have power. They can inspire or destroy, connect or divide, open doors or close. Then think about the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and influencers. They aren't just intelligent, they know how to express their ideas, clearly speak with confidence, and listen with intention. The ability to communicate effectively is not just about talking, it starts with listening. Most people listen just to reply, waiting for their turn to speak. But the best communicators listen to understand. They pay attention, ask thoughtful questions, and make the other person feel valued. Beyond listening, there's clarity. People remember messages that are simple, direct, and engaging. If you can't explain an idea in a way that even a child could understand, you probably don't understand it well enough yourself. Then there's tone. Your words are only half the message. Your body language, eye contact, and even your pauses say just as much. A confident voice commands attention. A hesitant, uncertain tone makes people doubt you, even if your words are right. And finally, communication is about influence. The way you speak to yourself shapes your confidence. The way you speak to others shapes your relationships. Every conversation you have is an opportunity to build trust, share value, and create impact. Master this, and you'll stand out in any room. Now, let's talk about something equally crucial. No. 8. Make your money work for you. Money isn't everything, but let's be honest, it affects almost everything. How you handle your finances determines your freedom, your options, and your stress levels. Yet most people go through life without ever learning how money actually works. It's not just about how much you earn, it's about how well you manage it. There are people making millions who are drowning in debt, and there are people with average salaries who are building wealth. The difference isn't income, it's financial awareness. Understanding where your money is going is the first step. Most people don't track their spending, and that's how small, unnecessary expenses quietly drain their bank accounts. When you start paying attention, you realize just how much you waste on things that don't actually improve your life. Beyond tracking, the key is spending less than you earn. It sounds obvious, but in a world of credit cards, buy now, pay later offers, and constant temptation, many people live paycheck to paycheck. Even when they don't have to, saving is essential, but saving alone won't make you wealthy. You have to make your money work for you. Investing, whether in stocks, real estate, or building your own business, is what separates those who struggle financially from those who build long-term wealth. And let's not forget, mindset. Wealthy people see money as a tool for freedom and opportunity. The financially trapped see it as something they never have enough of. That perspective shapes every decision they make. Every day you make financial choices, some big, some small. The more intentional you are, the more control you have over your future. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. Now, let's talk about something even more valuable than money. No, 9, own your schedule. Money can be earned back, opportunities can come again, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. How you spend your time determines who you become, what you achieve, and how much control you have over your life. Yet most people treat time as if it's unlimited. Look around. There are people who are always busy but never make progress. Then there are those who seem to accomplish more in a day than most do in a week. The difference how they prioritize, not everything matters. Equally some tasks move you forward, others just keep you busy. Highly effective people don't waste time on distractions or low-value work. They focus on what actually matters. One of the simplest ways to master this is by asking yourself a daily question. If I could only accomplish one thing today that would make the biggest impact, what would it be? When you focus on the most important tasks, first everything else falls into place. But it's not just about work. Your time is your life. If you don't schedule time for health, relationships, and personal growth, introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. Life will push those things aside. Warren Buffett once said, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. You don't need more hours in a day. You need to stop wasting them, and that leads us to the final thing you must work on every day. No. 10. Reflect, reset, and repeat. Most people spend their days chasing the next thing: more success, more money, more achievements. But what's the point of it all if you never stop to appreciate what you already have? Gratitude isn't just about feeling good, it's about shifting your focus. When you practice gratitude daily, you train your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, progress instead of problems, and abundance instead of lack. Science backs this up. Studies show that people who express gratitude regularly are happier, less stressed, and more resilient. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. Gratitude literally rewires your brain, making you more positive, focused, and fulfilled. And then there's reflection. Without reflection, life becomes a cycle of doing without understanding. You move from one thing to the next without ever asking, am I growing? Am I making the right choices? Am I becoming the person I want to be? Some of the most successful people in history, leaders, thinkers, entrepreneurs, dedicate time each day to self-reflection. They review their decisions, track their progress, and adjust their path when needed. Introduce practical tools like website blockers and physical focus spaces to enforce distraction-free periods. Scheduling strict focus blocks, even just 30 minutes daily, can dramatically multiply your productivity over the course of weeks. It can be as simple as journaling for 5 minutes, writing down what went well, what could be improved, and what you're grateful for, because life isn't just about moving forward. It's about moving forward in the right direction. So take a moment. What's something you're grateful for today? What's one lesson you've learned recently? If you can work on these things every day, gratitude, reflection, and intentional action, then you won't just improve, you'll transform. Now, let's bring everything together. So here's the big question. Each night, reflect using a simple 3-step journaling method. Record one win, one lesson, and one thing you're grateful for. Reflection solidifies learning, and gratitude trains your mind to focus on abundance over scarcity, reinforcing Stoic tranquility. What would your life look like if you worked on these 10 things every single day? Imagine where you'd be a year from now. More focused, more disciplined, healthier, wiser, stronger. more in control of your time, your money, your emotions, and your future. The truth is, success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. Let's recap. Mindset shapes your reality. Discipline turns goals into achievements. Physical health fuels everything. Deep focus amplifies results. Lifelong learning keeps you sharp. Emotional intelligence strengthens your relationships. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. Communication opens doors. Financial awareness gives you freedom. Time management creates control, and gratitude makes everything worthwhile. If you commit to improving just 1% every day, the results will be life-changing. Now, here's your challenge. Out of these 10 things, pick one to focus on today. Just one. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose one habit, one mindset shift, or one action. You can start right now. It could be setting aside time for deep work, cutting out a distraction, reading 10 pages of a book, or simply writing down 3 things. This principle echoes in modern psychology. Your mindset shapes your potential. To apply it, begin each morning by consciously reframing challenges into growth opportunities. Use journaling to track negative thoughts and rewrite them from a solution-focused perspective. Over weeks, this practice rewires your brain toward resilience. You're grateful for whatever it is. Start small, but start today, because a year from now, you'll look back and realize that the little things you worked on daily weren't so little. After all, they were everything. So what's your one thing? Drop it in the comments and let's grow together. And if this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. So now you know the 10 things you must work on every day to transform your life. But here's something you might not have realized. No matter how much you improve yourself, there will always be people in your life, friends, co-workers, even family, who try to manipulate, control, or drain your energy. And sometimes these people are narcissists. And here's the real danger. Narcissists don't want you to grow. They don't want you to break free, set boundaries, or become stronger. So how do you expose them? How do you make them reveal their true colors without them even realizing it? There's one powerful question that forces them to show who they really are. Here, as your challenge from StoicCraft, choose one of these 10 disciplines. Focus on it every single day for the next 30 days. Track your progress. Watch your life transform. If you found this valuable, subscribe to StoicCraft. Share this guide with someone who needs clarity and resilience. And remember, discipline, not motivation, shapes your future.